I can definitely say that you never know what's coming out of Bryan's mouth. That is, that he will definitely keep you on our toes. And but I think that's something we need in Columbia. This weekend, as I was trying to collect my thoughts for today, I was pondering to whom I'd be speaking. Because if everyone here is already on board with Bryan, then I'm preaching to the choir. And preaching is a lot more in his skill set than it is in mine. And so, then it hit me, what was more important than to whom I was speaking was who I was speaking about. And I mean, it's obvious. The invite said that we were going to come here and talk about Bryan. But which Bryan? Bryan the minister? Bryan the educator? Bryan the small business owner? Or Bryan the other small business owner? Bryan the father? Or in the role that I first met him, Bryan the school board member? And that's when it hit me that in many ways, Bryan has been preparing for this campaign his entire life. And no matter what your primary concern about public education is, Bryan, the candidate, has experience in that area. You worried about the fact that South Carolina is consistently ranked among the last in education? Well, Bryan, the school board member, has been an integral part of Florence One's push to prove that we don't have to settle for last. And his work is paying off. Tomorrow, our graduations begin, and based on the numbers that I received late last week, this year Florence One will have the highest combined graduation rate in our district's history. But we want to keep that going, so maybe you're worried about the fact that teachers are leaving the classroom at an alarming rate. Well, Bryan the educator has years of experience in the classroom and understands the challenges our teachers face every day. And Bryan, the school board member again, understands where those challenges come from and who and where has the power to make those changes, be that the local, state, or federal level. Maybe you're worried about the breakdown of the family unit, the effects that the pandemic and social media are having, and the fact that they, in many ways, are stealing our kids' ability to communicate and problem solve without resorting to violence. Bryan the minister and Bryan the father have consistently reached out to our most challenged youth to provide the love, guidance, and yes, discipline that they so desperately need. Maybe you're worried that our tax dollars aren't going where they need to ensure that our students are ready for college, the workforce, or the military when they graduate. Bryan the taxpayer and Bryan the small business owner understands that tax burden and is committed to seeing those dollars directly benefit our students. And again, Bryan the school board member has gained a unique insight into the frankly dizzying complexities of school funding. I could go on, but what I want you to pay attention to, what I want you to leave here with, is the fact that each and every role that Bryan Chapman has taken on has one thing in common. They have all benefited our children. Be it from the pulpit, behind a teacher's desk, at the wheel of a bus, or in the terrifying passenger seat of a driver's ed car, or dodging bottles at the school board table, or as a father or foster father. Bryan has spent his entire adult life helping our children and is successful as all these other Bryans have been. That really leads me to want to see what Bryan, the state superintendent, could do.